We'll get to you in a minute. Here's Dennis.
What do you mean that's okay?
Oh, well, for the moment.
Richo insulted down there. Sewell gives a hand pass away to Hodge. He snaps. It bounces the right way. Well, sort of. Bruce kept it alive. Oh, Rioli back in the big time. How about that? Broad smile gets the goal.
That was smart play. Smart play there by Bruce, wasn't it? Just to tap the ball back over there. And what a start for Rioli. He is so damaging.
Yeah, Bruce, well, I'm online now, and there's a couple of vital matchups in that midfield. Brad Sewell has gone to Maloney. We know how good he is at the centre bounces.
And then going downstairs, Richo.
Yeah, he came off. They're obviously going to take a pretty precautious approach with him today.
What? He's not allowed to watch the footy. Mitchell's got it, kicks a goal.
Watch these two for the next 5 minutes. Let me know if anything happens.
Yep.
Well, Hawthorn, the #1 team for disposals in the competition. Melbourne, at this stage of the game, have had 6 touches, so they just haven't been able to get their hands on the ball. And critically, at that
boundary throw in. A couple of minutes ago, we saw Cyril Rioli going down the race, but he's back on the bench now at the back of the pack, sending it forward. Shields, what a beautiful kick.
opportunity. That's a real concern for Melbourne.
That's a heck of a kick too. Luke Hodge, who no doubt will benefit from spending last Friday night with us. You'd expect him to kick it, Jim. 25 metres out. Amazing what we could do in a couple of hours. Just imagine if we had days.
Look at this. This is a beautiful kicking action by Luke Hodge, and this is a fast start for the Hawks. Just been having a look at Lance Franklin and James Frawley. Flying hard. He's had 6 tackles already. That's going to be a great duel as the day progresses.
There's another bloke that had some numbers a bit like that last night in the jump, but Shields again.
Melbourne are just going to have to change their setup here. It's just too easy for Hawthorn to be able to share the ball.
Been a handy player, Bruce, hasn't he? Good goal kicker, and Hawthorn have got the flying start. It'll be hard for the Demons.
63 to Hawthorn and just 29 to Melbourne, so they just haven't been able to get their hands on the ball.
See, Stephen Martin, I mean, Tim, they're just so inefficient, though. I mean,
yeah,
takes one step too many, probably should have handballed, doesn't do that. They're just not finding their players. Hawthorn are so efficient.
I mean, that's mental sharpness, though. It's
Bailey and Martin at the bounce. Margin is 22 points. Melbourne need to make a move, just not finding the football, although Maloney does this time. Kicks it out towards the wing. Back goes Savage. Lays it off. Cheney, little short pass. They're very sharp at the moment. Shields unloads. Long down towards half forward. Oh, terrific. Franklin, against quality, takes a wonderful mark.
Just to go. Yeah, OK, maybe the kick just...
It was coming so quickly, wasn't it? Sometimes with that sort of ball, stops it, then marks it. That was as clean as you like. Bad signs. Karma is bad. Oh, and he's on song with his kicking as well. One of these days, one of those guys who tells the fat lady when to sing.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
They cannot get their hands on the ball, and once again, it was just the depth of this kick. I mean, this is the first one to set up Shields, and then just magnificent depth. And I mean, Dennis caught it beautifully. It didn't really go very high at all, the kick. I mean, the penetration of the kick was favoured to Franklin. And
you're forcing a turnover, which they haven't done too often. The Franklin handball not all that good, so getting back Martin. It's an up and under. Bate, who's been heavily involved in the last 5 minutes, got a bad bounce. Burgoyne, Saul and Hodge, left footer they know. Good kick. Gee, Shields has been fantastic. I mean, his kicking in the first quarter has been important for Hawthorn. He's found targets. He's kicked the ball long. That one's the safety first, back to his skipper, and Hodge goes back. So they're happy just to get some rhythm back here. Whitecross having a good year. Whitecross, Cheney, said before, the ex-Demon against the old team for the first time. Dangerous kick here. Guerra did well. Burgoyne arches the back and then runs away. Now the bounce, looks up and under kick. Franklin half a charge. He's got it, buddy.
Gee, there's some acceleration there from Burgoyne too, wasn't it?
Actually, talking about Luke Hodge, we were talking about Burgoyne off camera on Friday night, and he said he's still the second quickest player at the club. Only Rioli's got him in the short, sharp sprints, which Surprised it because you don't feel he's quite the athlete he was. But anyway, that was fantastic. Can Buddy kick a second? Oh, he's given it a big roost. He's got two.
Didn't take the mark. It was a spoil, almost a spoil there from Green. This is the one, and this is the one they needed to mop up from, because they actually had some numbers around the ball. They had the opportunity to turn it over there. They weren't able to do that. And then when they let Burgoyne run through, then he just set it up perfectly for Buddy Franklin, who looks like he's as sharp as ever.
Well, you know Buddy's playing well when he's jumping for the ball and taking it at full stretch like that. The defender can't do it.
This will be the last foray, you reckon? Gibson's high ball forward. Oh, Hodge. Well, there you go. And Hodge quickly goes on. This will be interesting. Oh, you can see it coming. Pennant done it. He's sure.
Thank you.
He really defines it. Prepared to put the body in. Frawley comes looking for Watts. Loose ball at the back. Sewell slips a hand pass away. Ellis lost momentum jumping in the air. Kicks nicely though. And the mark is taken by Hale. Meters out. Again, talking about possessions. No. Taking plenty of time. David Hale. That's what confronts him. And this kick on the right, bending back, good. Judged it to a nicety.
Hit by anyone just yet, because he hasn't touched the ball in that first quarter, in the early part of this second quarter. And even though the ball didn't come off the boot very well of Ellis, it was into the favoured position. About 25% in the ruck, the rest up forward.
Of course, Roughhead's injury has given him a real opportunity, hasn't it? J. Mars kicked straight to Guerra. Birchall. So Melbourne have got to not much wriggle room, you reckon, here. That's a lovely kick coming out of the back by Puopolo. And then Saul gets around Maloney and then kicks the ball back to Hale. Well played. He just held the man off. Able to hold him off there.
It wasn't a great kick, but he actually kicked it to the favoured side of Hale, so he was in best position as the ball drifted forward.
So he at one end and Gibson at the other, the former Kangaroos. So Rioli being worked on, as we could see. Mitchell trying to break the tackle. I think
On
it's
his head, Hawthorn, free kick.
high on Mitchell.
He'll be held as well. Sam Mitchell plays on, kicks inside the forward 50. Again the tall timber, and again a problem for Rivers.
There's that Luke Hodge tackle, just whack. I mean, there's nothing untoward about that, but it's just an aggressive tackle. Then as I was watching as the ball came in here, it was Garland actually was more concerned about double teaming Buddy Franklin and less concerned about Bailey.
Now it's with Frawley. Frawley looks down towards half forward. Nice kick too. Marek is coming up. Let it bounce. Now he's got a problem. Backs off. Terrible hand pass. Guerra, support alongside. Whitecross. Osborne. Back to Whitecross. Will Whitecross have the sense to let Shields the runner go? He goes short to Rioli. Decides to take on Tapscott. Going at his second goal. Oh, that's magical. Wonderful. He just torpedoed Bruce's there.
Set up their own goal scoring opportunity, one into the ground, and Marich wasn't able to find his teammate with a handball, but that bloke is just magical.
I got into trouble describing him one night, didn't I? Never lived it down.
Perfect word.
Well, that was really just an errant handball, wasn't it? Like, it was a handball and hope, but there was nothing high percentage about that at all.
Shields again. I mean,
Yeah.
the magic provided by Cyril, as Dennis rightly said, it was my turn again. But
Nicholson, Gisbert's on the burst, comes towards the wing, backtracking is Martin, almost the mark, needs to keep it in front, couldn't quite. As a result, it turns around completely. Burgoyne slips a hand pass away. Guerra goes towards half forward. Just the fickle nature of the bounce there has done Melbourne in. As Osborne goes across towards Ellis, trying to keep it in front. Watch this, and it came out the back door.
And it did, and critically what happened there for Melbourne is that their players went ahead of the ball and Hawthorn stayed with the contest. They were anticipating Melbourne that they were going to win the ball.
Xavier Ellis from 45. Good looking kick. Oh, that's punishment enough, isn't it? Again, Melbourne have to build from the back, leading in the race. Garland Rioli just hanging off him like a pillion passenger. Took him down. Knocked across by Shields to his own advantage. Couldn't get through. Wonderful defence by Garland. Not enough though. Rioli goes to Osborne. Osborne tunnels the kick for a goal.
He's prime real estate, Rioli, isn't he?
There he is. I mean, there's the tackle. Even in the tackle, he doesn't go to ground. I mean, Garland goes to ground in the tackle. He stays on his feet, so he's able to follow up. And then you just know that in a situation like that, he's going to be able to think his way through it. Here's Garland again, just locking the arm. Cyril doesn't go to ground, then affects a Shepherd. And then watch this. I mean, here he is. He follows up again, thinks his way through over the top.
McKenzie decides to load up to fall forward. Murphy got the fist away. Burgoyne been good. Cheney to Gibson. Clever kick. And then Birchall. Lovely kick to Savage. They're such a skillful side, aren't they? Savage running hard now. Puopolo. And then Puopolo to Osborne. They're running the ground here to Lewis. Then Lewis measures it to Franklin. Well done, though, by Rivers. Martin under pressure. Rioli.